Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, and I looked the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and welcome back to Space Truckers Part 2. And we are continuing with Space Truck 5. And we have Jedrod here in Space Truck 5. And he has opted to go and get one of the docking port sections for the space truck stop that we are constructing. So I designed each of these docking sections to be able to dock 4 of the space trucks. But I realized, and you're going to see this after launching them and getting them up, that I possibly did not space them out enough, and I'm probably only going to be able to dock, instead of 4 per side, 2 or 3. But that's okay. I have a plan to fix that. I'm going to redesign them in a way where I should be able to get all the space trucks docked. And I don't want to waste anything, so what I'm going to do is I will repurpose these docking ports for other stations, like stations in Eve, Dres, or maybe even Jewel. So that is my plan. So Space Truck 5 has rendezvoused with the rocket that has brought the docking ports. And the good news is that the way the docking ports were designed, they can just be pulled easily. Now, I think if I were to add 2 more sections, but put them one in the middle and move the other docking port to 1 down, so there were 4 in between, that it would probably end up working out. But in my mind, in the VAB, for some reason, I thought there'd be more room. And let's just do some real quick free fuel transfer over. And unlike Space Truck 3, it's all should be able to be completely filled up just from 1 booster. So the next movement is just to rendezvous with the truck stop at 225 kilometers orbit. I think a 1 degree inclination. So I've been thinking about I need to look into the economics of Kerbal Space Program and see what I can figure out, because right now all the space trucks have, like, they've had to pay to have their their vehicle constructed. They've had to pay to have it launched, and then the initial fuel cost. They'll have docking fees on the station, and then cost for liquid fuel, monopropellant, any sort of maintenance, which, in game I can't really, I don't know that there really is maintenance unless something breaks. Like, I don't know how we're going to handle if something breaks. We didn't really make a very good rendezvous. Let's try this again. And we are 64 kilometers away from the station, so a little bit closer of movement, and here we are. Now, I make a mistake here, and this mistake was probably actually made during the design process. And you're gonna see what happens here. So Jedrod is coming in to get the docking ports onto the station. And we're coming in, making pretty good progress. Yes, that thing. We're making good progress until right about there, we ran out of monopropellant. Well, crap. So what can I do? Let's see if the station can. I'm gonna be able. I'm trying, and I can't get it, and now. Okay, I just have to. At this point, it's spiraling, and I'm just gonna have to back off. I undock the space truck just to get it away. And this is Space Trucks 3's time to shine. It's going to have to go and grab the docking ports. Space Truck 5, you're kind of... You're a problem for tomorrow. I hope you have plenty of snacks on board, because it's going to be a little bit before I have a chance to go and rescue you. At this moment, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about Space Truck 5. But anyway, Space Truck 3, Scherner, has got the docking ports. And it's time to get them attached to the station. Now, it is possible that... Ooh, I ended up drifting pretty far away. Anyway, it is quite possible that I could dock without monopropellant. It's extremely difficult, and I'm not really up to the challenge. But, oh man, I am... Okay. I need to watch my monopropellant usage before I run out again. Alright. This has not gone to plan. Okay. Everything has gone wrong. But it's okay. We're back into back in the ballpark, and we have plenty of monopropellant. Like not like a ton. We're really going to need to get some monopropellant soon. I think Space Truck 6 is going to have to get the other docking port, which means Space Truck 7 will go ahead and grab 2 of the big liquid fuel tanks. And Space Truck 8 will get the big LOX tank and the big mono tank. And there we are, and we look to be pretty much established where I want to be. I'm just going to go ahead now because I need that docking port clear, because that's where I plan on putting the next section, just on the end of this. And using the nav ball to line up the docking ports, and there we are. And as you can see, there will not be enough room to get another space truck next on that docking port. But here we are at Space Truck 6, and we have Mohat. Alright, trying to clean up. I'm going to have to come through and really get my orbits cleaned up. Nope, that's Space Truck 5. There we go, Space Truck 6. And yeah, my orbit is a mess with all sorts of things right now. And there's the docking ports. So this is yet another design for the space trucks. And also has a different flag. Completely different configuration for the engines and completely different fuel tanks. Using the aircraft cockpit. So this is how we are going to get everything set up, and we'll figure that out as soon as we can rendezvous with the docking ports. Let's go ahead and fix our orbit. I kind of like this design because it's kind of something completely different. Whoa, got a little close. Anyway, yeah, I kind of like this design because it's something completely different. And I do plan on doing even more, possibly even doing a couple more designs of space trucks, and if one of them seems to be more successful than the others, I may go ahead and build and launch a second version of that. I'm not exactly sure how many space trucks we absolutely need. So right now I'm going to stick with 8. And I was fairly certain there was plenty of room between the engine pylons, but it's really close. And I'm doing a lot better job of keeping track of all of my monopropellant use after Space Truck 5. So this has 4 of the, what is that? 2 meter. Actually, I have no idea how wide it is. Whatever that size of the tanks, it has 4 of those. I think Space Truck 5 only had 2, which is a problem. So I may go ahead and launch a tank that can be put on the end of that docking port. So Space Truck 5 will have even more monopropellant, which will kind of hurt its max delta V, but what are you going to do? So we are hopefully coming up on the station here pretty soon. Here in just, there it is. We have plenty of monopropellant. The other good thing about this design is I can dock sideways, which means it's a little bit sleeker than some of the other space truck designs. I'm just eyeballing my orientation here. And this footage is sped up 4 times faster, just kind of to help you guys not get so bored watching endless docking. And I want to make sure I get everything lined up. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and undock. I don't think I could dock in the one right next to Space Truck 3. There we go. Turn to our side. Eyeball my orientation and then fly using the nav ball. There we are. See, if I had all the space trucks design that, then those docking ports would be fine. So now we got 3 space trucks there. And here is Space Truck 7. We have, let's see, Derny and John Rick. This is another duo. And yet another design using a different flag. I should have remembered what all the names of the flags were. And I know Space Truck 1 and 2 both have the Highway 47 flags, but that's okay. While these are all supposed to be fictionally civilians, even civilian companies will have big corporate or even possible government sponsors, and like we're going to say the first two were kind of subsidized by Highway 47 Productions, so that's why they're using the Highway 47 flag. So I had to find a way for the docking port for this ship to be able to reach out in front. And I wanted to make sure that the ship was... What am I trying to say? Still weighted, so I had to get creative with my use of batteries. And I got it pretty close to where that many batteries was equal to the weight of the structural parts and the docking port. So here we're coming in onto the first of the big liquid tanks. And we have one of these on the Discovery Station that's in orbit of Duna, and I think it was delivered there by Space Truck 1. Now, the other thing about these tanks are they're not going straight directly to the space station. I'm going to go ahead and have Space Truck 7 pick up a second tank just like this, and then it's going to, well, not in this episode because we're running out of time. Oh, always check and make sure you are being controlled from the right direction. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the second big liquid fuel tank, and instead of going to the space station, we're going to go to Minmus and get these tanks filled up using the Minmus mining ship that is there now. We launched it. It ended up being off screen because somehow the footage did not... Something happened and the footage didn't record. So it ended up being lost. I didn't realize that. Like, it recorded the footage, but it was just like in Contact. It was entirely black. But this episode, we're actually, I usually like to do about 20 minutes, and we're coming up on 24, or we just passed 24 minutes now. So once we get docked up with this last tank, we'll call it for there. And in the next episode, we still have one more space truck to introduce, and we need to get these tanks filled. And I don't think I have room at the Minmus station to have both space trucks there at the same time. So Space Truck 8 is going to fly to Minmus, but it's just going to kind of be in a parking orbit until there's room at the station. And I think we're going to have to do probably 2 mining runs to fill up both of these tanks. Maybe even 3. Depending on how much liquid fuel is at the station. And then once this is filled back up, this will fly back to the truck stop and deliver the tanks. And we still have some things to grab in orbit. We have one more big tank, which somebody will have to go ahead and fly that to Minmus, and then we have the crew module, the extra crew module, which somebody can just grab and fly right to the station. But that's it for this episode, and join me next time. Like, subscribe, watch some of our other things, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.